What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today we need to go taking a look at some new Digimon cards. The reveals for New Evolution are coming thick and fast. I am absolutely adoring that this is the case. I'm going to be honest with you, I am having so much fun digging through all these Digimon reveals. Long may it last, ladies and gentlemen. Long may it last. As always, shout out to all the lovely people on the Facebook group for the translations, the proxies. You guys are awesome and honestly make my job so much easier. Now, I think the one we really need to start off with today is GranKuwagamon. And as always, apologies for the pronunciation. It is a level 6 green Digimon. It's a new level 6. And it's kind of awesome. And we have actually seen a few level 6 green Digimon here, so we can start digging in. Now, in terms of the stats, the first thing that should jump out to you a little bit here, it is a 13 cost to play normally. And that is high. Generally speaking, level 6s cost 12 if they have an ability, and they cost 10 if they don't have an ability. There was the 11 cost one that was an exception to that, but that only had 8,000 power, so, you know. But this is weird. It's a little bit more expensive. Now, it also costs 4 to evolve. Now, costing 4 to evolve was fine for level 6s back in the starter sets, but ever since then, all the level 6s we've seen have only cost 3 to evolve. 2 if it doesn't have an ability. So actually, this is an expensive Digimon. Is it worth it? Well, it's got 11,000 power, so straight off the bat, no. That's the same power we see with Rosemon. It is more than we see for Hercules Kabuterimon, so I suppose it's on the higher end for green Digimon, but it's not up there with WarGreymon, and that's a cheaper card to play. So we're really expecting something good in terms of skills here. And we do. Because you see, it's not really an 11,000 power Digimon, it's a 15,000 power Digimon. Because on your turn, it gets plus 4,000 power. Now, to put that into context, plus 4,000 power leaves it at 15,000, which puts it right in line with Omegamon. And that is a little bit over the top broken great. Yeah, Omegamon's ridiculous. This has the same power as Omegamon. So make no mistake about it, this is a very powerful Digimon. Now, of course, the differentiation we're making here is it's on your turn. So when you're attacking, it's a 15,000 power Digimon, but then when you're resting, it's an 11,000 power Digimon, and your opponent can take it down. So something like a WarGreymon would come along at 12,000 power and would destroy you while surviving. Whereas if you were attacking WarGreymon on your turn, you would take it down while surviving. Which now makes perfect sense. It is somewhere between a regular level 6 and the level 7 Omegamon in terms of cost. But then by the same token, it is as powerful as Omegamon on your turn, while being weaker than a lot of level 6s on your opponent's turn. But you've also got Piercing. Piercing is redonk. It says that after this Digimon has destroyed an opponent's Digimon in a battle, do a security check. So basically, you get to attack a resting Digimon, take it out, and bearing in mind it's your turn, you'll have 15,000 power. Not only will you take it out, but the only thing that will naturally KO you back is Omegamon. Ha! And then you get to take down a security as well, bearing in mind you're a 15,000 power Digimon, so unless you hit an Omegamon as a security card, or I suppose an option card like Gaia Force that activated and destroyed any Digimon would also work, but unless you get something along those lines, this is surviving. How nuts is that? The answer is very. A 15,000 power Digimon on your turn with Piercing is ridiculous. The only downside of this Digimon, and it is a powerhouse Digimon, but the only real downside here, of course, is that on your opponent's turn, you're going to have an 11,000 power Digimon, and your opponent can use a level 6 to take it down. So play a blocker. If you've got a blocker on the field, the only real downside is your opponent is going to try and destroy you. Oh no, wait, because anytime they activate an attack to try and take you down, block it with your blocker. Oh look, now you're rolling. And a blocker could be something like Monmon if you were willing to play a bit of a blue deck along with your green. And that's a 4 cost or 1 cost to evolve level 3. That ain't difficult to get into play. And you can use your 1,000 power Monmon to protect your pseudo 15,000 power GranKuwagamon. Yeah, this one's redonk, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, if we put it side by side with the other green Digimon, you've obviously got Titamon, who's just your generic 10 to 12,000 power vanilla. But then we've got Hercules Kabuterimon, 12 cost to play normally, 3 cost to evolve 10,000 power, with piercing. But you can also pay free memory after attacking to make yourself active. So now we've actually got 2 level 6s with piercing and lots of good stuff going for them. And you could choose between them, or you could play both of them. Yeah, Green Digimon now have 2 really good level 6 piercing options. Apparently piercing is a bit of a thing with Green Digimon. That's kind of awesome. Bearing in mind, green cards also love putting you to rest. Like that option card that just puts your Digimon to rest. So that's very much something to bear in mind. Play something like Mega Electroshocker, and then of course you can take out the resting Digimon and then go after their security as well because of piercing. It's a bit of a theme in green, and it's a theme I'm loving. The other one we've got here is Rosemon. 12 free, 11,000 power. And on your opponent's turn, when an opponent's Digimon attacks the player or the security, if you're resting, which you usually will be because you'll have attacked the previous turn, rest one of your opponent's Digimon. I'll be honest with you, after seeing Hercules Kabuterimon and this dude, I'm not feeling quite so enthusiastic about the chances of wanting to play Rosemon. Rosemon is really dropping down the power rankings of cards I'm excited about. But the other one we've got here is another WarGreymon. Now, we did mention this briefly earlier. However, we didn't have the full information. We had a blurry image and an imprecise translation. Well, now we have a much better image with a precise translation, so we can mention it quickly here. We've got, honestly, what we expect in terms of a stat line. 12 cost to play normally, 3 cost to evolve, 11,000 power. It's the same as Rosemon. It's the same as pretty much any level 6 with an ability in New Evolution. And the power is 11,000, but actually the starter deck WarGreymon with 12,000 is the exception rather than the rule. So stats-wise, it's alright. But when you Digivolve, you get security attack +1 until the end of your turn. And I don't know how to feel about this. Because on the one hand, fine, yeah, security attack +1 until end of turn. And extra security attacks are good, right? Your opponent has 5 security cards, you take them out, then you attack, you win the game. But it's 1 extra security attack once. You could play Birdramon, which would give you that extra security attack this turn, and that would be 4 cost, and you'd then have a Digimon out. Or you could play that Great Tornado card we looked at just earlier today, which gives one of your Digimon +2,000 power and security attack +1, and it only costs 3 memory to use. And if we put it side by side with the other WarGreymon, well, the other WarGreymon gets security attack +1 for every 2 of its evolution sources. So if you've got 4 evolution sources, you get security attack +2, which is better. But if you've already got just 1 evolution source, then when you evolve, you get security attack +1 for the rest of the game. And it's got an extra 1,000 power, so yeah, fine, it costs you 1 more memory to evolve. It's totally worth it. I'm not loving the evolution skill here. when you just look at the evolution skill, I much prefer the other WarGreymon. Oh yeah, but it's got another skill. On your turn, when this Digimon security check reveals an option card, that card security effect does not activate. That's why I love this card. That's what's good about this card. You got cards like Gaia Force, right? I mentioned it earlier. Super powerful card that just lets you destroy one of your opponent's Digimon. Generally, it's an 8 cost. Yowza. But then again, you play it for free if it comes out as a security card. Mega Electro Shocker we mentioned earlier. You get to rest one of your opponent's Digimon, any of them, or 2 with 5000 DP or less. Free cost, but if it comes out as a security card, 0 cost. Option cards coming out as security cards can lead to some really brokenly efficient effects. And this turns all of them off. Which means your opponent's down to Digimon and Tamers. Now, there's not much we can do about Tamers yet, I'm sorry. But when it comes to security Digimon, you're fine. Because here's the thing, right? Take Omegamon out of it for a minute. Omegamon's got 15,000 power. That's a bit ridiculous. Outside of Omegamon, the highest we get in terms of power is like the WarGreymon with 12,000. So all you need to do here is, say, get 2 of the red tamer from the starter deck down. Oh look, now you've got an extra 2,000 power, you've got 13,000 power, nothing is KOing you in terms of a security Digimon, and your opponent can't flip any option cards and get any benefit from that, which means unless your opponent flips a tamer as a security, it's just general bad news here. Or you can evolve from the Agumon to give yourself an extra 1,000 power and then use one of the tamers. Or you can use that option card I told you about, Great Tornado, that gives you plus 2,000 power. And then again, against anything other than Omegamon, you are surviving. Now, there are some things that could thwart you here. For instance, the yellow tamer that came around in the starter deck does give their security Digimon plus 2,000 power. Yes, that does stack, and that can kind of ruin your day a little bit. Similarly, we have got the frankly ridiculous red option card Starlight Explosion that until the end of your opponent's next turn gives all your security Digimon plus 7,000 power, which for 2 memory, I mean, if you played the app, you'll know this is kind of a bit broken. But outside of those specific cards, you've basically got yourself a Digimon here that, okay, the one-off security attack plus 1 is fine, not spectacular. Although, as a side note, don't forget Omegamon's ability puts a level 6 into your hand. So if you've evolved into Omegamon, you then get to attack, put this back into your hand, and then evolve it from another level 5 to reactivate the skill. That is a cool combo you could pull off. But generally speaking here, you turn off option cards as security cards, and being a red card, it's super easy to make yourself beefy enough to take out any security Digimon, and all of a sudden, we are loving it. Let's be clear, I am not loving it as much as I'm loving GranKuwagamon. Oh my goodness, that card's exciting. But these are some good new level 6s, and I'm sorry, I'm so excited about these cards. That's all I'm getting to this video. The good news is, of course, that these reveals are coming thick and fast. I never planned on doing daily Digimon videos. I didn't plan on sometimes doing more than one in a day. But you know what? That's the way it's working, and I ain't going to argue, because I love me some Digimon. But I'd like to know what you think about these 2 new level 6s, so let me know in the comment section. Go nuts! Me nice! And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at the Wossy. That's where we talk Digimon and a whole bunch of other games. Card games, video games, board games, whatever takes me fancy. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCGradio, where you can support the channel, get weekly bonus podcasts, all kinds of fun things. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching Wossy Plays.